So you need to solve a Rubik's Cube. I got you covered. So there's basically three main components of a 3x3, which is the Rubik's Cube we will be solving today. I was actually just looking through my videos and I realized that my only actual Rubik's Cube little 3x3 tutorial is from 10 months ago, and that's not outdated, but I need to make another one just so that it's more recent. So there's really only three pieces. There is the corner piece, which is going to have three colors, and yes, this is important when we're looking at a Rubik's Cube because of the way that the pieces move. Each color does not move individually, making it more difficult, I guess. Not really, but then there's the edge piece, which only has two colors on it, two stickers instead of the three stickers. And then there's going to be the centerpiece. I just took off the cap, the centerpiece cap. It's just this small cap that goes on the centerpiece of a 3x3 right here. And this is just what holds the core in. This does not actually move, it just spins, and everything else, all of the pieces spin around it. So you might be asking, how do I actually solve the cube? Well, it's not that difficult. You just do some turns, get it scrambled. That should be good. Now, what I would advise doing is just by making a white cross on the top. If you're doing beginner's method, which this video has beginner's method, you should hold the white center on the top, and just do that because it's probably going to be the easiest piece to identify. So you're going to also want to try to line this up. You don't have to. Just try and be smart about what you do, and you should be able to logically put all of these edges on the white center. Okay, so now that you've made the white cross, you are going to need to actually solve the white pieces, because there's a difference between solving a piece and just having a piece look correct. So with this, I solved the green so that these pieces are the same. The centerpiece is going to be what side the color is. And then I solved the orange piece because, again, it matches up with the centerpiece. The centerpiece does not move, so it should just be solved. But there's these two. So what I would say the easiest is putting one of your pieces on the right, just taking this right side out, so turn it just out of the system so you can turn the top and then just turn this back in when you need to. So if you do that, you can pull this back, turn the top back, or I guess the right side back, then turn the top back, and then you can just take the red piece, in this case, into the actual cross. It might seem complicated if you just watch what I do. Then you should be able to do it just fine. Okay, so now we're entering the part that really takes the longest when solving a Rubik's Cube. So really, I would say the easiest way that this is going to be to learn is if you flip this white centerpiece over so that the yellow is on top, and then what you're going to want to do is look for a white corner, such as this one, which is three colors on the top row, the top layer. So once you've found one, and there might not be one, I'll show you what to do in a second, but once you've found it, just put the white off to the side. Now, if it's on the right like this, just keep it off to the side. It doesn't matter which side it's on. and you're going to look at the two other colors that aren't white. And then you're going to find those centerpieces on the cube and put your white corner right in the middle of that, okay? Now you're going to turn the cube so that just the white is facing you. Turn it out. Don't turn the cube. Don't turn the whole cube like this. You don't want to do that. And then lift up the side that the white was on. Turn it back so that the white is matched up with your centerpiece, and then put it down. So now that you've put the first corner in, and if you haven't done that yet, then I will show you how to get past that. But anyways, if it's on the bottom layer with the yellow on top, you are going to take whatever side it is, might be on the left side, might be on the right side, I don't know, and you can, now I'm going to show you on the left because that's where my corner is, but you just lift it up, turn the top so that this one is in the back, and then you turn it so that you can put this centerpiece back down. And here it is, and then you're going to do the same steps as you did before. Take these two colors. This time the corner is on the right, so basically cover this right side up. Look at these two colors. Here's the two centerpieces. Make the white face you. Turn it out of the way. Lift that side up. Turn it back. And then just put it in. Let's do the remaining two corners. So I see the white, blue, and red corner right here. I'm going to find the white, blue, and red, I guess just the blue and red centers, and then it goes right here. This is where it wants to go. So turn it out of the way, lift the side that it needs to go into up, turn it, and then put it back in. Last one, it's already in the spot. Turn it out of the way, lift that side up, turn it back, and then put that down. Now we are done with the whole first layer. You can turn it and it will never become unsolved. There we go. Okay, so now that you're done with the first layer, I assume you are. If you are not, rewind, go back in the video, maybe pause it or something, and just find where you messed up, because this whole top layer needs to be solved. So once you're done with that, then we're going to put these edges in. Now, these edges are also just part of the same step process, because we have to take these pieces out in order to put your edges in. So what I'm going to do first, find your edge, match it up with the color, and see which side it needs to go to. You can do this by turning the front and seeing which side it matches up with. So that means this edge needs to go here. So that is on the right, and you hold it with whatever side is in front. So that is on the right. So what we're gonna do, and I'm probably just gonna try and edit in the algorithm. What you're going to do now is turn it the opposite way it needs to go. So if it needs to go to the right, you turn it to the, you turn the top so that it ends up on the left. If it needs to go in the left, you turn the top so that it ends up on the right. You need to just turn it the opposite way. So in this case, it would be a regular U-turn. And I will have a video very soon explaining cube notations. That'll probably be very short video, but you just turn it the opposite way. Then you're going to bring this corner that is on the right, where the edge piece needs to go. You lift it up, you turn the top back so that this edge matches up with the center again, and then bring this down. And next, you'll see that our corner is now unsolved, and you do the exact same steps that you just did to put this corner in. You turn it so that you can't really see the white. I know you can barely see it, but You turn it so that you can't see the white. You can put your hand there if it's really distracting. But you just lift up the side that it needs to go, turn the top, and put it back in. So now that you've put your corner in, you can just keep doing that. So I am going to look for a corner, or I mean an edge. This is going to be the red-green one. It needs to go in on the right side. I'm going to turn it the opposite way. So if it needs to go here, you turn it the opposite way that it needs to go. Lift your side up, turn it back so that this is matched up, and then bring that down. You can do the same steps where you make it face you, turn it, and then just lift this side up, turn it back in. It can be complicated, but you'll get used to it if you do it enough. So I'm going to do this. This one is on the left, and I know because if I turn it, it'll be on the left. So I'm going to turn it so that it ends up on the right this time. Pull the left side up, turn the top, and bring it back down. Now I'm going to do the exact same steps to put the corners in. So that's why putting the corners in is so important. And I see here that I know that this piece needs to go on the right, so I don't even need to bring it over here. I can just lift this up, turn it, and bring it back down, and they're matched up. You can't always do that, but just if you start getting more competitive, then you should be looking for all the ways that you can get a time advantage on opponents. So, yeah. So now that you're done with the first 2 layers, you are going to need to do the last layer. And I would say the last layer is the hardest. So I am going to scramble this 3x3, solve it, and then set up the last layer to different ways that it will be, because the last layer just has a bunch of different orientations that need to be solved with algorithms, and I think there's 2 or 3 different ones that are really just there. You need to memorize stuff for them. So yeah, I will be back in a second. Okay, so now that you get to now that you're on to last layer, again, I'm going to be using this cube to just show you the different orientations of the last layer. So we have this orientation, I guess, and this is like a bar, triangle arrow, and then the fully solved one, the fully solved case, would be a full cross, so like this, but I am going to get back to the bar. So the bar is what we started on this cube with, but I'm going to take this cube and just show you what you can do. So when you first get to last layer, you can get any of these 3 cases, and there is one algorithm that you need to know, and it is this. So that algorithm is going to be what you use to get to the cross. So for this case, it's going to be front, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. So if you don't know what that means, I think I'm going to put a link at the beginning of the video to a video about cube notation. So go watch that. It should be pretty simple. But again, just watch what I do if you can't understand the algorithm. So F, right, up, right down, and then top back, and then just, I use my thumb, just, that's something that you can do. So for this, we have the bar, and you're also going to want to make sure when you turn, the bar is like basically just not being cut off. You don't want it like this, where then it's not a bar anymore. So again, you just do that. And then you have your cross. Okay, so next you are really just going to be looking to match these edges up. So you want them to be in the right spot. These ones are, so it's going to be the same as the white side. So I'm going to take this one, which does not have matched up edges. As you can see, these two are not connected to their centerpieces. So I can go R, U2, R prime, U prime, R, U prime, R prime. And that should line them up with a U-turn. So that is really what you're going to want to do next, and that'll just match up your edges to your centerpiece. So now that you've matched your centerpieces up, you are going to need to just see if there is any of these edges in the right spot. They don't have to be turned the right way, but if they are, that's fine too. Just they need to be in the right spot. Okay, so now if you have one corner, which you're gonna have either no corners, one corners, or four corners in the right spot. So I happen to have one on this cube. I also have one. Most of the time you're probably gonna just have one, but you can get lucky and all four of them could be done already. But if you've only got one, then you're gonna wanna put it in the bottom left-hand corner and then do this algorithm. Okay, I'm sorry. I meant to put it in the bottom right-hand corner, and you're just going to want to turn your whole cube. Don't just turn the top layer. At least it won't be that useful in beginner's method. But anyways, once it's in the bottom right-hand corner, do the algorithm. And wow, that was very lucky. Now, normally you're going to have to do that 2 or 3 times. This time I just had to do it once, and I got a very lucky top layer. But if we take this cube, this is probably what it's going to look like. Maybe not exactly like this, but it's going to look something like this, where only one of them is solved, and 3 of them are not. What you want is you want 2 to be solved. So, okay, so I think my pattern changed. I don't know, I was experimenting a bit. So, once you have all your corners in the right spot, then what you're going to want to do is take the ones that are solved, and if there's more than one, just put it on the left side, and if there's only one, put it in the bottom left-hand corner if you're looking at it like this. So, once they're on the left side, do this algorithm. Yes, half of the algorithm is the one that we did earlier, but you need to do both halves. So we are going to take, say, this pattern and do that algorithm. And it really just cycles around the corner pieces so that you can solve it. Now, once we get this, which is in beginner's method, this is called headlights. Headlights turn into something different later, but this is what we call headlights. So just do it, and put these on the right side. Now we do that. We do the same algorithm as before. And there you go, a solved cube. Really not that hard. I don't know how long it took. I haven't edited this yet, but it shouldn't be that bad.